Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Hey guys, I wanted to hop on here, come to you guys here on my page here. Let me turn my music down a little bit. I want to go ahead, guys. I want to do a little charting and a little marking up of the charts, going over a few pairs, just showing you guys a few pairs that I was in and I was looking at, what I'm analyzing, and what I'm looking at. The market's getting ready to open up in about 12 minutes. Me personally, I typically wait because the spreads are going to be high. So I typically wait before I just hop in the market. So while that's going on, I typically, even like right now, I typically mark up charts to get ready for some moves to be made. And I like, before I get back in the market, analyzing different pairs, right? Looking at different pairs, analyzing pairs I was in over the, throughout the trading week. And I like to go back and look at obviously my wins, my losses, what I could have done differently, and so forth. So, so what I'm going to do, I just want to share my screen. I'm going to do some back testing on a couple of pairs and just looking at the moves I caught and potential moves I could have caught on those pairs. So getting right into it, man. So I'm excited, looking forward to, this is what, the second week of February we're going into. The market is back moving at a good pace. And, you know, obviously knowing how to go into these markets, you can definitely go ahead and crush it. And learning this skill set, guys, can put you in position to create income whenever you want. So, I'm going to share my screen here. I like to have my little mellow music playing when I'm trading. You know, obviously, it calms me, puts me in a good state of mind, and allows me to focus a little bit better. Just pretty much some little instrumentals. I don't want to play something too upbeat, get me too charged up, and get into a zone where, you know, everyone's music is different that they listen to. I found this works better for me. It keeps me at a mellow mood where I'm not getting too overhyped, and now I'm looking at charts, and, you know, your emotion goes, and music is emotional for people. So just try to keep a nice little mellow beat going. Allows me to focus, no words. Allow me to just focus on what I'm looking at. But, you know, drowns out the solidarity of nothing. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go ahead and look at a couple of pairs here. So I got one I was looking at, man. I missed this, and I could have got in on it, but I did miss this entry. And I'm going to share where I could have got in on it at, and actually where I missed it at. So I'm going to move this over. Oh, shit. Let me share this in my group first. I know I forgot to do something. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me share this in my group. I'm normally posting in my group and streaming outside of my group, but I'm going to share this inside my group. On my phone. I'm going to go here. All right, you just share this. Share it to a group. All right, share that in my group, guys. And if you want to join my group to get an inside look at the platform that I utilize, go to fb.tradewithed.com. Join my group, and you'll be able to see my results, customer results, testimonials, product trainings, and so forth. So I want to share that. All right, so let's get right into it, man. I want to look at these charts. Let me make sure that I'm streaming here. Yep, I'm showing. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go over here, guys. I'm going to look at EURAUD, AUD. So I got it pulled up already. So I posted earlier, like on this pair here, there was a move where I could have got in on it, and I missed it. But I could have got in on it, so I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that first. So I was a little ticked off myself because had I looked a little closer, I would have saw. So if you look at this right here, guys, the way I trade, I go for price action. I'm just looking for market structure of support and resistance. So this was my lowest level of support. Let me turn this music down just a little bit more. I'll be fighting the music to talk. I just got to play a little bit. So look right here. This is where it took off. Like I look for it to do. Based off of market structure here, I was waiting for price. That's what these lines are for. Right here, this one line is price breaking this zone right here, retesting this zone, and then shooting up. So this trade went for, if I would have got in on this candle here, I could have caught this for 114 pips pretty much. So what I missed, I mark up, this is the 1 hour, I do my charting on the 1 hour, but I do my entries based off of the 15-minute, 5-minute, or the 1 minute. So I'm gonna go all the way down to the 1 minute. It's gonna blow this screen up because that's where I could have caught my entry right here on this candle, which was February 6th. That was what? Was that 6 o'clock? Yeah, it was 6 o'clock. 1800 hours. Yeah, that's 6 p.m. So I'm gonna go down to the 1 minute chart here. And when I showed there was no entry, there actually was an entry for me to catch. So had I looked a little closer, I missed my entry. So, but I stick to my, just because that candle shot up, I didn't get in because I wanted to wait for a retest. And it was a retest on the 1 minute. So if I come right here, right in this zone here, that was a beautiful entry too. So it broke. See, this is the blue box I have. It broke that blue box right there on the 1 minute. And there was a retest. That was a retest right here on the next candle. Okay, so once I saw that retest, I would just wait for another green candle inside the box. I could have got in right here a few minutes later and then rolled that thing all the way up. But it is what it is. I missed it because you can see here, after here, there was no, I didn't see that one. I missed that one. There was no more retest inside that box. It just continued up and up and up and up and up. So it never retested inside the box again. There was no retest on the 5 minute nor the 15 minutes. So I go back over here to the hour. As you can see, it almost retested. It almost retested again right here on this candle, but it never touched. Had it touched right here, then I could have got in. But it's all good. Be ready for some future moves, right? So what I want to do before this pair did shoot back up, what I want to do, I'm just going to break it down. I like to go back, look to the left, and look at potential entries, potential moves, guys. So on this pair right here on Euro AUD, there are several areas where if I was trading this pair, I could have got in and wrote this down for, I do what's called trend trading. I ride with the trend. So I could have wrote this down as a sell, and I could have called it here as a buy, and I'm going to mark up where I could potentially catch it at once the market opens back up here in a few minutes. So I'll come back to the sell. I'm going to go over to the buy first. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, I have some markups right here. I'm going to clear these candles out, clear my markings out, and I'm going to come back in and just mark up potential zones of where I could have got in on this trade at. So start here, my lowest level of support. So this will be my lowest level of support here. Now I'm looking at potential zones where I could have got in on this as a buy. And I'll show you all exactly why I'm doing this as I'm marking it up here. Give me 1 second here. I need to, all right, look at that. Looking at all these different zones here. These are all potential areas where even if I missed the initial trade, I could have got back in on another trade. All right. I probably wouldn't even waste my time with that. Oh, no, it's 105. Okay. There. Okay. One more right there. That is a zone. Oh, here. Now, these are all the areas that I just write in mind. These are all support and resistance zones. So from here, I'm just going to come back. I like filling them in so I can know within these zones what I'm looking for. Give me a little more clarity. This is me personally, what I like to do. Oh, and what I wanted. There we go. Over here. My coordinates at. There we go. Oh. I don't know why it's not giving me what I want right there, so it's all good. Let's do this. 2 minutes in the market to be opening back up. Excited once the market opens back up, man. It's a beautiful thing. And this is what I do daily, guys. I mark up my charts. I look at potential entries. I throw my little music on. And knowing the way I like to trade, I'm not on the computer all day long. So if you ask me what time, weekends, I chart normally like around now, or if I'm busy or doing something with the family, I'll get in and I'll mark up my charts a little bit later. Because I typically, unless I see something, I typically don't enter into the market till like around, I don't know, if I do trade on Sunday, it'd be like around 7 or 8 is when I normally get in. So looking at this, and I'm about to break this down for you all really quickly. 1 minute till the market opens. 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, so, all right, guys. So here we go. Let's do this. Looking at where I could have got in on here. Give me 1 second, do my ellipses. What these little circles I'm drawing right now are representing are my potential entry points where I could have got in on these trades at. All right. It's like I'm missing one. Okay. Pretty much 2 nice entries right here where I could have got in on. I probably got another one, but this is what I'm looking at. So this was the lowest level of support here, right? So what happened is there was no price, let's just say starting from here, price didn't continue to the downside. What happened is this created a nice floor for me right here. And as you can see here, this was a good level of support. So once the candles moved up, this was my next highest level of resistance. What I was waiting for, I marked up based off of this. I waited for price to break right here. As you can see, it broke this level of this ceiling. Resistance is known as ceiling, floor is support. So I'm gonna just say ceiling and floor. So it broke this level of the ceiling right here. It retested, as you can see these candles, it retested right here. Boom, then it shot up here. Shot all the way up here. That was one nice entry I could have got. Then what happened here, it dropped back down. If I was trailing my profits, I could have, obviously would have got stopped out somewhere in here, depending on what I was looking for. I do what's called twin trading. My first trade, I go for a take profit of 30 pips. This literally had no drawdown. This went up for a potential, let's say, break retest. If I got in right in here, this was a potential of 113 pips I could have caught. And after that, right there, I'll leave that. Nope, change the color on that. Let's see. Wrong one. No, I don't want to change that. Just give me the wrong box. Anyway, whatever. 113 pips right there. So what happens here? Price again. I waited, as you see, it went down. This created a level of resistance. It started doing some consolidation, going side to side. Then it finally made its way back up. Boom, broke right here. Broke on this candle. But as you can see here, you look a little deeper. This candle touched. It retested right there. And it probably even retested again on this 1 hour candle. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go look and see. I'll look at the 15-minute chart first. Go look at the 15-minute chart right here. You see it touched, boom, right there on that 15-minute chart. It touched my zone, and I could have got in right there and then rolled that up for some more profit. So I rolled this all the way up to here. If I would have got in On this next green candle, because this is what it did, I wait for a green candle to break this ceiling. And then retest, this now becomes a new level of support, also known as a floor. It moves to the upside based off this green candle right here. Because I wait for another green candle to form, which it did. And I could have rolled this up for another potential 114 pips. Simple as that, guys. I'm just going off of price action, using support and resistance, waiting for a ceiling to be broke, waiting for that ceiling to become a newfound floor, and now it's continuing up to the upside. And it's the same thing on the downside, which I'm about to show you all next. So when I look at my zones here of where I could have profited, what's going on? There we go. Goodness. I had two zones I could have profited in. I could have, that ain't what I want. There we go, my measuring. Could have profited here on a buy, and I could have profited here. Okay, two different zones I could have profited in. Total, if I would have called all of this move total, this would have been 100, and this would have been 200, like 230 pips I could have caught. And the great thing is, like, which I had been paying attention to Euro AUD earlier in the week. This was back from January, so this was last week, January 30th, that I'm showing you right here. If I would have missed this move, you don't rush in as the candles are going up, right? You wait for a new market structure to set up. So you don't want to just jump in the trade because the old me, I would have saw this, boom, oh man, it's moving up. Let me get in on one of these candles. And yeah, I could have caught some pips, but that's like gambling at that point. Is trading reckless because I have no idea if it's going to shoot back down, if it's going to go back up. What I do is wait for the next zone to form. And right here, this is where the next zone formed. It formed a green candle that gave resistance, and a red candle came as support. Now I have something to go off of. You can see it bounced around a few times. This became market structure. So if I would have created my zone right here, waited for this breakout and retest to happen, I could have caught it right there. Okay. So now price came up here. Looking at this, boom, boom, boom. It did do a break and a retest right here. I guess this could have been a small zone I could have got in right here, because this is like the next level. So if I would have got in right here, which I could have got in one more time. This would have been where my entry would have been, right along there. And if I would have got in there, this would have been about 38 pips, 35 pips I could have caught right there. So still potentially 265 pips total. Now what happens is this became the newest highest level of resistance. You can see price did not continue up. This became resistance, and then price started doing what? Dropping down. So now coming down to the downside over here, I'm gonna delete this out, and market just opened back up, and I'm gonna show you where I will get in at over here. So coming back down to the downside, right? Looking at this, this is now the highest level of resistance right here. So I'm gonna mark this up, showing you where I would have been able to get in on this on the downside. So that's a level of resistance. You don't want to get in on this right here, right? This is just choppiness. This is all back and forth, back and forth. This is considered consolidation, in my opinion. I wouldn't get in on that. Yeah, I could have, boom, 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 saw this come. I could have entered right here, but that's still not a good entry point, just in my personal opinion. So look right here. This is a zone. So this became a zone. So what I would have did, go ahead and mark this up here. Mark up my zones first. Just looking at this. Marking up a few zones. And these zones are all now potential areas where I could have got in at for a potential sell. So I showed you I'm riding the trend, right? I showed you where I could have got in that for a buy. Now I'm showing you where I could have got in that for a sell. Put this down. And that would have been it. Because now this became the newfound area of support. Same thing, guys. I'm just doing it in reverse. I did it for a buy. Now I'm doing it for a sell. Simple as that. You know, it took me a while to find what trading style resonated with me, right? And this is what I've learned inside of our platform, and I've learned from one of the oldest tenured, he's a very young guy, oldest tenured traders inside of our community, extremely successful trader, and I would say one of the most popular traders, not just because he's been trading for so long, it's because this style is very simple and gets results. You know, you got to find out what works for you. You find out what resonates with you. Some people like a lot of indicators. Some people like more of a clear chart called pretty much a naked chart. And this is pretty much what I have. All I'm using, again, is what is considered support and resistance, okay? And I just wait for market structure. I'm marking my charts based off of that and creating a ceiling and a floor and a box. That's all you see me using here. So, and this is the key to getting better. For what's worked for me becoming a better trader is what's called marking up charts. Is what I'm doing and back testing and looking at where I could have got in at, and then looking at showing you some potential entries of where I might get in at now that the market is open back up. So let me do this here. A few zones. And what I love about trading, guys, is that, again, like I said, you got to find what resonates with you. There is no one size fits all thing, in my opinion. So it all varies from person to person. What works for one person doesn't work for somebody else. Or what may work for one person may not work for somebody else. It just depends, man. So, you know, I could have got in right there. I just missed the zone. Give me 1 second. I saw that. I could have got in right there. Give me 1 second here. Lost what I was doing. Just saw one more zone. Could have absolutely got in right here as well. Looking at that. Mark this up. Hey, Jared, what's going on, brother? So now coming in here, break retest. Yep, could have got in anywhere in this area, and I'll show you why. So there, I got a potential entry here, potential entry here, potential entry here. And that's it. So, all right, let's look at them. So looking at these zones, now I'm going to the downside, guys, getting in for a potential sell. So again, I said this became the highest level of resistance, also known as the highest ceiling. Nothing else broke above here. So price started moving down. Boom, it came down, got market structure right here. There was a resistance candle, a support candle and a resistance candle that formed structure. So this is why I created this zone here. So what ended up happening, the price shot back up. If you look here, there was a break and a retest, then it shot to the downside there. Now, if I would have missed this entry right here, it came back and retested in this zone once again. That's what I love about this strategy is that once this created a new ceiling zone, it came back retested on this candle right here. Boom, another red candle formed after this. You see it for a couple of hours. It just kept retesting, meaning this is a strong zone. It did wick up, which is like a fake out. And then boom, it shot down all the way down here, okay? Once that shot down past here, you see this became my next lowest level of support. This became my next floor zone right here. So same thing, let me show you how it goes like this. So price broke the floor, became a ceiling, shot down. Price broke the floor here, became a ceiling right in here, shot down. Price broke the floor here, this was a zone, broke the floor here. Maybe I could have got in on this candle here, but at the end of the day, it retested in the zone right here on this wick. Then boom, what did it do? Shot all the way down, okay? So as you can see here, price did not break the floor and then become a ceiling and go down. Price then started bouncing off this floor. This became my newfound, my lowest level of support, newfound floor. And this is where I had price marked up at going into the weekend, where I missed that setup that I showed you all when I first got on here, okay? So looking at this right here, looking at this one, guys, this is a potential, if I would have got in on this trade right here, right? I would have got in here, that was a potential of, let's say, boom, all the way down to here, like 67 pips for that move there. Price come over here. If I would have got in on the retest, let's say if I would have got in on the retest on this red candle here, wrote this all the way down again, back to this area. That's even more pips. I could have wrote this down for, let's say if I wrote this down, I took my first, because I told you I twin trade. Let's say if I took 30 pip profit on my first trade, boom, my second trade, I'm trailing my stop. I could have got this down 114, 115 pips. I could have got in on another re-entry because one trade is already closed out. Another one is a stop profit, so I'm in risk-free trading. I could have got back in on another entry right here. If I would have got in on this entry here, that's a potential, boom, of, man, look at that, another 106 pips. It's rinse and repeat, baby. That's all it is. If I would have got in on that next entry right here, I wrote this all the way down to here. Now I'm looking at 159 pips. So collectively, if I would have caught all of these pieces or any of these pieces, I would have been good. My personal goal for the day is 50 to 100 pips. So if I get my 50, I'm good. So I catch more, that's even better. But if I would have caught all of this move, let's say if I would have caught this move from, where did I initially get in at? Break, retest from this zone here, and rolled this all the way down, man, that's a total of 278 pips I could have caught. So now fast forward to where we at today. The market just reopened, right? So I'm gonna clear all of this out. Market just reopened. I showed you all where I missed that move where I could have rolled this up for like 100 and some pips between Thursday and Friday. So now that's back testing. Now I'm gonna analyze this pair to show you where I would get in at, lock this chart up to a new trading week is open. So where would I hop in on this trade? If I wanted to profit off this trade, as you can see, it looks like it's in a nice uptrend, right? Like it's moving to the upside still. So if I wanted to get in on this trade, this is how I'm marking this pair up to show you my entries. I'm not just gonna jump in. The spreads are nuts right now. Market just opened back up. You wanna get a market a chance to calm down, settle down, and get some consistency for it. So you just don't jump right in. So now, this is the new candle right here. As you can see, it's showing February 9th, 2020, 1,600 hours. That's what? 12 plus 5, 1,600. So 5 o'clock, like I said, the market just opened back up. So this is the, right here, you see this is a zone. You see that little wick right there? This is a strong level of resistance. So you have this buy candle, the sell candle. I like to say, for me, the green candle is a buy, the red candle is a sell. So this formed a level right here, and this is going to be my highest level of resistance. Let me zoom in a little bit more to make that, so I can see it a little bit better. Okay. Oh, computer, what are you doing? Time for this. So I'm gonna mark that up like so. Drop this down a little bit here. Okay. This is gonna be my resistance zone. All right. So now, where will my support zone be at? So I got a lot of things going on in here where I can get in at. Will I mark my support zone up here? Will I mark it here? Will I mark it down here? It just depends. So looking at this, and you know, it's a personal preference on this. This is a man. I really would say I want to get in. I want to get in right here. I want to get in right here, right? And make that my support zone. But for me personally, what sometimes what decides it for me is where is the next support zone at, which would be here. So, and for me, this is just my thing. I like to see how many pips potential will that zone get me. Sometimes I determine it on that. It's kind of, maybe I guess you can call it risky, but it's just my personal thing I do. So if price broke and retested here and dropped down here, boom, this is like 40 some pips that I can catch. So, right, do I want to get in there or do I want to get in here? See, it gets even more messy, man. It's a tough call because this is so not clear. Let me see something here. That's 121 pips if I decide to get in down there, which is probably the safest route. Let me look on a higher time frame. Look on the 4 hour. Let's see. So when you can't see clarity, when you can't see a lot of clarity on a lower zone, you go to a lower time frame. You go to a higher time frame to help give you better clarity as to where you will want to enter a potential trade at. So because the higher up you go, the more consistent and more clear it's going to be of where your next moves are going to be at. So that's why even on the higher charts, like if you trade off the 4 hour, you absolutely catch more pips than if you trade off the 1 hour, the 30 minute, the 15 minute, and so on. So looking at this here, I'm good here where my resistance zone is at. So for my support zone, if I move this down here, it's showing a support zone right where I'm at, okay? So I'm good with saying, hey, I want to get in. You can see here, this is a support zone right here. Candle here, candle here, candle here, form the level of support. So I'm going to stick to where I'm at, make that my support zone here. And even on the 4 hour, if I went down, the next zone would be here. Yeah, it's like I was saying. Okay, I'm confident with that move. All right, so it gave me better confirmation and more clarity on my 4 hour. So now I'm gonna come down here and mark these zones up like so. So this is my resistance, my highest level of resistance right here, where I wouldn't get in for a buy until a break and a retest happened up here. And for a sale, yep, this zone right here. So this is what I'm gonna get in for a sale. So this would be my sell zone right here. So that, now I come in here with my my markups. See, this candle was shooting up right here. So look like it's still moving into a buy, is going long, whatever you want to call it, uptrend. But I got rules I got to follow for my trading strategy. So this is what I'm showing you here. break this zone, retesting this zone. Next candle be a green candle shooting up. Boom, on the next green candle, I'm getting in. And I'm not gonna second and third guess myself, because that's the whole point of trusting your strategy. So now for sell, break, retest, red candle break, boom, green candle retest, red candle shows it's still dropping to the downside. Shift the momentum, boom, I'm getting in right there, right in here. So do that. So from here, what I would do, my zone numbers, I pick a number I'm good with. So you can see here, I have it marked between 1.64454 to 1.64484. What I like to do, I use alerts called call alerts is one, and then the other one is called my phone died. I use two different signal alerts, and what I would do, let's say I would set an alert to give me an alert when price hit 1.6447, and then I would wait, see price broke right there. Then I'll look and wait for the 15-minute, the 5-minute, or the 1 minute, see if there's a retest. And then if a green candle opens up after that, I'm getting in the trade. And the same thing for here. I would go between 63896 and 63880. I'll probably do 6386. And that's be my alert to let me know, hey, let's look at getting in a potential sell on this pair right here. So what I do when I mark up my pairs, right, I take a screenshot of this image to know where I'm at, and I put it in my notes. I like to keep track of what I'm doing. Keep track of my charting. So if I go here, my daily charting, I come up here. You see here, I didn't put all my charts. I did more than one chart. Might only did one chart on Friday. So come here. 2, 9, 20. I already got one chart marked up. Paste that in. This is EURAUD. So that's it, guys. So I did a lot on this one pair. I was going to do a couple, but I'm not. But another pair I will show really quickly over here inside the trading view. What I look at, I keep a tab on what are the pairs I'm looking at. So GBP NZD, I really like GBP NZD. It's a very volatile pair, moves a lot, but just looking at it right now, I'll just mark it up for, I'm not gonna do any back testing, but looking at it like, where would I get in on this as a potential buy or sell? This pair moves, probably the most volatile Forex pair of any pair, man, but it's so smooth when it moves to me, and you're able to catch a lot of pips, and it moves very fast. Looking at it right here, I would not enter it as a buy. Not even on this right here. I'm looking at this wick right here. So I look at that. I want to enter this pair as a, I'm going to zone it here. I'll go to here. That'll be my resistance zone right there. Boom, support zone. Looking at the market just opened up. Now, I wouldn't get in on this yet. You see this? Because there is no structure for me personally. This was at the end of the day on the 7th. Look right here. This is the first candle right here on the 9th, but there is no market structure formed yet. So until I see like this red candle and then a green candle form and all of that, then I can look at potentially marking it up here. So based on what I'm seeing right now, for me personally to get in on this pair, I'm not going to get on it as a sell until it goes all the way down here. Look at that, because you look in between all of here, you don't want to get in on anything like this. This is the last place where, and this is where it broke, from last week. Could have got in and boom, this was a nice move to the downside, break, retest, and drop. This some boom, 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 inconsistency, some sideways movement, some consolidation. Right here was a nice drop. Then maybe right here was a nice drop. Then there was a nice move to the upside right here. But still, looking at all of this, I want to trap price. So if I'm trapping price and giving myself the most comfortable trade setup to take, because you don't want to get stuck in any of this. If I got in here right now, what am I getting in on? I don't know. You know, I can't get in on a sell or a buy. I don't know what is it doing right now. The market just opened back up. I can't say if it's going to be a sell. I can't say if it's going to be a buy. So for me personally, based off my trading parameters, the best thing for me to do is to trap price. Price is currently right here. I don't know if this price is going to go up. This price is going to go down. I don't know. So if I can get in on a buy, price might shoot up right here. And if you go right here, these little candles right here, it might boom, decide to drop back down and go and do a shift of momentum and start going to the downside. Price can come down here. And once it gets here, because this is a level of resistance right here, once it gets here, it might decide to bounce back up. I don't know. So based off of all of this right here, the safest move for me to make is to make my highest level of resistance right here. Because if you look here, what am I? What's past this? I'm free and clear, right? I'm free and clear. Because now if price comes here and it breaks this zone as with a green candle, breaks this ceiling, and retest in this zone as a floor with a red candle, and then the next candle that opens up is a green candle to the upside. Look at this, man. I'm good. Like the next level of resistance, the next highest support zone is all the way up here. Now I'm not saying it might not form levels of resistance within here, but it might. If it does, it might not. It might do it like right around here. Okay. And even if I got in, let's say here, and shot that all the way up to here, that's still 131 pips I could potentially catch. Now, even on the downside, I like being, I guess you want to call me a super safe trader, but I'd rather wait for a nice real move, a clear move to happen. And based off this, I don't want to get caught in any of this, even with it going to the downside. So, I mean, everyone has different strategies, right? But this is where I'm comfortable at. This is my comfort zone. So, same thing. Boom, come here, wait for a break of the floor, of this level of this floor. Once it breaks this floor, and if it retests, this floor becomes the newfound ceiling. And then from there, I'm waiting for another red candle for price to continue as a downtrend. So I do that. This is a zone right here. So even if I got in right here and I shot down to this zone here, that's cool. That's still 39 pips, 40 pips for me to potentially take. But if it continues past that, that's where I'm comfortable. I'm not even worried about this. This is so far back. I'm looking at what's current, and this is all the current trades right here. This happened back on January 30th. So this is more current here. But if it does, it breaks here, boom, okay. That's 39 pips, next zone, 74 pips, next zone, 124 pips. So that's what I do, guys. So let me go ahead and put my, and if I'm not like what I'm doing now, just showing you all what I do, if I do this on my own, my goal per day, 5 charts per day. I don't want to be I'm not in the market all day. I'm not looking at my phone or my screen all day. 5 charts per day. If I know I do 5 charts per day, I know out of those 5, I'm going to give one that's going to follow my trading parameters and give me a potential entry. Sometimes 2 and 3 hit. So, and I got the pick of the litter to choose from. So, but this is just my golden number. I try to strive for 5 charts per day. This is how I personally get better. I do 5 charts a day. If I'm charting, which I haven't done lately, to be honest, but I get back to doing charting 7 days a week. 5 charts a day, 7 days a week. That's 35 charts a week, right? 35 pairs I'm marking up per week. And if you consistently doing this, guys, you're going to get better. It's like with anything, man. If you do something over and over and over again, you're going to get better at it. Like I can look at this now. I couldn't before, but I can look at this now and look at what I'm looking at and see potential zones for me to take even without me marking them up. And I've been able to do that sometimes where, I see a move is happening. Man, let me get in on this trade really quickly because the move is happening as we speak. There was a retest or there was a break, a retest and shooting up, whatever it may be. Now, boom, I'm in a trade. So it just comes with time, comes with practice. I'm nowhere near a great trader. I'm an okay trader. I do good for myself. I win personally 75 to 80% of my trades on average. This past week, I rushed into a couple of trades, and I forgot to move my stop loss up and profit on one. So I was 8 for 14. I lost 8-1, 8-1, won 8, lost 6. So 57%. I haven't had that low of a trading rate in a couple of months, but it's all good. Ain't nobody perfect. You know, still a decent week for me, but on average, I win 75 to 80% of my trades on average. So that's me winning every 3 out of 4, or, you know, every 8 out of 10. However you want to look at it. 2 weeks ago, I was what, 10-1 or something like that. So it is what it is, you know. So I'm just working to get better, man. I'm doing what works for me, and I'm just sharing with you all what I'm doing. And everything I've learned, guys, is through the platform that I'm a part of. So when I looked at this 3 years ago, I'm grateful to have, you know, saw this and took advantage of it. And now, fast forward, here I am learning a skill to where I knew nothing about, a skill that used to only be privileged, that you had to be wealthy and be a millionaire to learn the skill set, and that's no longer the case. This is something everyday people like you and I can get involved with. And, you know, to this day, there's still people paying $8,000, $10,000, up to $60,000 to learn this skill. But it doesn't cost that. It costs a fraction of that, guys, if you want to decide to learn and trade with our platform. So if you are interested, you want to learn more, guys, go to tradewithed.com for more information, to find out more about the platform, who they are, what they do, what they have their hands on. You see the products that are made available to you, the different tools, the education. It's a beautiful thing. So I highly recommend you learn the skill if you're not. You know, if you already are, continue to practice and continue working. You will get better. So that's my time, guys. I'm done. I want to hop on here. I was on here a little longer than I wanted to. So I appreciate you all. And if you're inside of my trading group and you got any questions, message me, guys. So feel free to hit me up. If you're not in my trading group and want to get in and see the inside look of our platform, go to fb.tradewithed.com and I'll grant you access. All right. So thanks for your time, guys. Hope you all found some value in what I shared here, and I will talk to you all later. Take care.